I am late, but I'm here to update you in my No Pan Left Behind. If you don't know me, hi everybody, I'm Gagasita. Welcome to my channel, welcome to this beauty space where I just love to share with you my love for makeup. Could be old makeup, new makeup, every kind of makeup. In today's video, it's me being shameless and update you in a October project in the middle of November. Let's not talk about it. No, let's talk about it. October was a year and a half for me. It was so long, so full of events. It was a really bad month for me. Honestly, it really was a really bad month for me. I was sick pretty much the whole month and I didn't got to do my makeup as much as I wish, and how you can know it is because every time I did my makeup, every time I did my eyeshadow, I post a short for you. And if you go back and you watch, you notice that I didn't did my makeup as much. Filmed some videos pretty much all in the same 3 to 4 days, and then I was sick pretty much the whole time, which is sad. Honestly, it was sad. I was still able to finish my No Pan Left Behind. That means that I used all the eyeshadows from my Cloud Spoon palette by Colourpop and all the eyeshadow in my Wilderness palette by Colourpop. And today I'm gonna share with you all the looks that I created with these two palettes. Talk about what it's gonna be on the month of November, beginning of December, because I will not give myself only 15 days to finish this project. There is no way I'm gonna do this to myself, or maybe I will. I wanna share with you all the looks that I did. Even though I posted my last look using the Wilderness palette in the 2nd of November, I promise you I created that look in the 3rd of October. I am just slow and sometimes I tend to procrastinate, hence why we're doing this video in the middle of November. The first look that I created, I was really trying to use pretty much the most colors that I choose from the Cloud Spoon palette, because this palette here, it's really pretty, but as you can see, it's a monochromatic pink palette, so it's pretty, but it doesn't scream full time to me. So I was like trying to use it as fast as possible. I used the two blues on my looks and on my look, and then a little bit of this beige shade underneath my brow bone, and I used this one here on my crease. Then I used those two on my inner corner, this one here on my in the inner third part of my lid, and this one here in the middle. And what can I tell you? Even though I love the look, I had so much fun creating that look, it doesn't look full time to me. And it's funny because I was 100% sure that it doesn't bother me that I was not creating a full-time look, but when I was like, yeah, I don't feel that it's right, it doesn't felt right to me. I don't know if it was because I was doing a short with it, or it was because I was really not feeling the full vibes with that look that day, and it felt a little bit off to me. Another thing that felt a little bit off for me was using the glitter, and I don't have nothing against the glitter. And even though many people are against glitter on your eyes because they are dangerous, they can scratch your eyeballs, they are not really safe to use in the eye area. And a glitter like this one here, it's even more dangerous because it has really large you can see it, the particular the pieces are really big. They are round but they are still really big, and it doesn't really bother me because whenever I use glitter, I try to use glitter glue underneath, and I always use lashes whenever I'm using glitter, because I feel that if the glitter has some fallout, the bigger lashes will catch it out, will catch it. So there's chances that the glitter get into my eyeballs are smaller, so I don't feel that it's as dangerous. It still is dangerous, but my point is that I didn't felt in love with the glitter as I used to, because today's I am like, if I have to use a really reflective thing, I prefer to use a special shade. The second look that I created, I was completely in love with that look because I love that pop of orangey color. To create that look, I used the brown, the orange and the mustard shade, which if you know me, you already know that those are my 3 favorite colors in the palette. I am so attracted by this kind of shade that it's ridiculous. I created a look using those 3 shades. The other 2 colors that I'm wearing in that look are from the Harvest Moon palette by Ainsley Rain, and I love this palette here so much. This is still new in my collection. I brought her with the Flutter and Flourish palette. I buy my Ainsley Rain from a German restocker, which is Monolith, and I love Monolith. But since they only works with indie brands, they don't have full stock all the time of every product, so whenever they come out, they stock on some product, I know that I have to grab it if I want it, or I will have to buy from the direct site. And I love Ainsley Rain, but I promise you their shipping it's more expensive of their palette, and their palettes are not cheap. You know that, you already know that Ainsley Rain doesn't do cheap palettes. So if I tell you that the shipping is more expensive, then we have to add over it taxes and duties, and it's not worth it for me. So I do prefer to buy from Monolith, but if I buy from Monolith, I cannot buy whenever I want. I can only buy whenever they restock, and sometimes it's once every month, and not every month they restock everything. I feel that they restock brands that go best for them, which makes sense. All this blubbering just to tell you that this palette here is new for me, and I really felt that I needed to use this orange shade right here. Or did I use the one from Flower Moon? I don't remember. No, I feel that I used this one here and this one here in my inner corner, and oh boy, I did love that look so much. And I always say that I don't like to repeat look, but that look I wanna try to create something similar really soon, because that orange shade made my heart beat so fast. Then the other look that I created, I was like, okay, I was just getting out of my sickness, and I was like, okay, I really need to use the rest of the Cloud Spoon palette and the minty shades from the Wilderness, because I don't love mint in fall time, and this palette here has quite a lot of them. I really wanted to get rid of this palette as soon as possible. Again, it felt off to me create this watermelon inspired look, and I love the look, don't get me wrong. I will never do a look for you that I don't feel that I will use outside YouTube, outside, you know, Instagram. It's a look that if I create and show you a look, it's because I use it. I would use that look. I will not come here and show you something that I am like, that's pretty for Instagram. I don't like this kind of concept. I like to be real with you. We are all normal people with normal lives, so my makeup should be as my lifestyle, so normal. But I enjoyed that look. So what did I use? I finally finished and use the 3 shades. One thing that I noticed is that the colors are not as different as you would think looking at them. Some of them look really similar, and when you start to blend them, they kind of blend all together and pretty much look the same. From my Wilderness palette, I use those for green here. If I have to create a full-time look using those 2 colors here, I will probably combine with something more warm, but since I had to finish to use this one here, I decided to create a watermelon inspired look. So I use those for 1, 2, 3, 4, and I use all of them. It was really fine and dandy. Use one more color from my Heather Austin palette. I decided to use this shade here because it is just perfect. It's like a pink that shifts a little bit of green and a little bit of blue, so to me it just brought the colors together and I loved the result, but it was not really fall looking like to me. But I was so happy because in the end of that look I was like, okay, I don't have to use the cloud spoon anymore because I use all the colors at least once. The next look, I was getting sick again, so I decided to cheer myself up a little bit by creating a whole green look. I love green, so I was like, okay, this is the perfect time to reach out for my Wilderness because I want to create a monochromatic look. So I started by using this cool tone green here on my outer V, and then I blended with a warmer green shade, and I put this one here in the outer parts of my lids, and in the center of my lid I used this beautiful gold right here, and in my underneath my eye I went into this one here. So I use pretty much the whole palette but the 3 reds and the lighter blue shade here. And oh yeah, and of course I use this color here, and I don't know if you can see, but it's my favorite color from the palette. I have a pan. I love the combination between the warm green and the cool tone green in my inner corner. I loved that combo and was really fall looking like, so I was so happy and so glad. I didn't knew, but it's something that it's really dear to my heart. It's to create looks according for the season, or it's just because I love warm tone and fall looks. I don't know. The last look that I created using the Wilderness was the look that you saw in the 2nd of November, but I created in the 3rd of October. I promise you, I am not a liar. I will not lie to you about it. I will just say, okay, I was late and I really wanted to conclude the project, so I concluded in the 1st of November, but truly that I finished in the 3rd of October, and I was so proud of myself for that. So this is what I did. I used this one here in my outer V, this one here on my crease, and this one here in my inner corner. And then to bring the whole look together, I decided to dip into the gold shade once more. And the look was pretty, and it was a look that I outside of YouTube, of course, but it screamed 4th of July, and I live in Italy and we are not on the 4th of July, so it wasn't my favorite look, but I still fun creating the look. Those are the 4 looks that I created to completely conclude my No Pan Left Behind. What about November? So today is the let me see here. Now that I'm recording this video, it's the 9th of November. So I will start the project No Pan Left Behind from tomorrow, and I will try to create a short every single time I do eyeshadow look. In this way you can see in real time how I created the look, and you can see what I'm using and what I'm not. I am kind of worried because part of me is like, okay, so let's take this project and redo it for the month of November, from the 10th to the 33rd of November, and then from the 1st of December we can start with a new No Pan Left Behind. But the other side of me is like, it doesn't seem fair, because I wanna have 1 month, so I wanna finish the project in the 10th of December, but at the same time it's my fault. It's because I procrastinated so much that now it's the 9th of November, so it doesn't feel right. I don't know what to do. The truth is that I don't know what to do, because in the end of the day it was because of me that we are today talking about this 9th of November. I didn't organize myself really well, and I did procrastinate a bit too much. So I feel that it is just right that I give myself only 20 days to finish the project. But I will not be choosing any palettes from my Not Forgotten collection, even though I kind of want to use some of them. What I'm gonna do, thank God, lately in my collection many palettes came in, and I am so glad, but I wanna No Pan Left Behind all the palettes that just came into my collection. I wanna play more with them, and I wanna finish all the palettes that I brought to my collection. Let me share with you what are them. It's gonna be amazing. The first palette I wanna No Pan Left Behind it is this one here, but I will take on consideration that I already created 4 looks with this palette here. So all the eyeshadows that I use in those 4 looks, I will write them down, because I recorded all the looks. The ones that I'm missing, I will try to incorporate them in other looks. In this way I would use all the colors from the palette. I wanna No Pan Left Behind the Dead of Roses palette from Bella Beauty Bar. That's gonna be fun. I wanna do the No Pan Left Behind into my Cosmic Dreamer 2. I wanna No Pan Left Behind my Secret Garden palette from Bella Beauty Bar. I don't feel that I need, but I wanna reuse all the pans from this palette at least once more, because I love this palette. Oh yeah, this one, if you don't know, it's the Land of Enchantment by Ainsley Rain. I love my Ainsley Rain. And then I wanna No Pan Left Behind this palette here again, this palette here too, because I brought it and I wanna use it, and I wanna show you all the looks that I create with it. I wanna No Pan Left Behind the Flower Moon 2. and of course the Cold Moon. In the near future, I wish I could No Pan Left Behind the Strawberry Moon too, and I want a No Pan Left Behind the two newer palettes, the Flourish and the Flutter from Ainsley Rain. I wanna No Pan Left Behind the Gargoyle palette by Unearthly Cosmetics too. And the review of this one is coming soon this week, so I wanna No Pan Left Behind this palette here too. And of course I wanted to No Pan Left Behind my two newer palettes. I will do reviews with this one here. So I know those are quite a lot of palettes to No Pan Left Behind all in 20 days. I know it's not enough time, but hear me out. This is how we're gonna do. I will keep myself on track on all the colors that I used in those months that I started to document my makeup. For example, from the Poison Garden, I will take on consideration the colors that I already used at least once and created looks for you here on YouTube. The two shades that I used from my Harvest Moon palette too. The same when it comes to the Celestial palette by Beauty Bay. Of course, the same when it comes to my Gargoyle palette. I will do a short wherever I do my makeup, so it's easier to keep track on what have I used. Did I use everything? And of course, when I do the reviews of these two palettes here too, I will consider them, you know, at least once used. And then all these other palettes here, whenever I use them, I will write them down. And of course, I will take in consideration 3 looks that I already created with the Flutter and the Flourish too. Just because it just feels right, I want to use all the colors on camera at least once. So all of those will have a look on camera at least once. And I want to create more looks using those palettes too. It's just because to me it just feels right to use what I brought. This is the big old huge pile of palettes that I wanted to use all the colors inside. So before I move back to the colors that I'm not reaching out to my collection but I still think about, I want to use all my newer palette, and wherever a palette come in my collection, you have to know that that palette will be part of my No Pan Left Behind too. And this is why I will have to let go in my project 10 uses palette. I will talk about this project in another video, but right now you have to know that I will have to let go of this project because there is a lot going on when it comes to eyeshadow. So I do prefer, you know, to make them to make more space for them. And during the month I will randomize one palette with my phone, and I will use just one randomized palette, and I will try to finish all the other palette. This is what I wanna do. I will try to be picky with whatever I will randomize and keep the palettes to be just 6 to 9, 12, not more, because I really wanted to focus on my newer palettes. It just feels right to me, you know. And even though I have to show more love to my whole collection, I wanna test what I buy. This is what it is. And as soon as I am finished with them, I will put them away, okay? This way we can actually keep on tracking if I'm wearing all the palettes. It just feels right to me. This is why I created this project, because I really wanted to come to know better my collection and if I will left those to do another month and another month, they will become older before I am able to put my hands on them, and I wanna really put my hands on them while they are still fresh and new. Okay, now I will turn the wheel and we're gonna see which are the palette that we're gonna use for the 20 days of November, and I will try to come back in the 1st of December and redo this video. Update you, not redo. Oh boy, I love the Wild Child palette. Let me take it. The eyeshadow, it fell over my lap, so it was pretty easy to save it because it's a super shock. So I just had to press it all together, and now she's looking ugly, but she's still working fine, which is what we hope for. So this is the Wild Child palette by ColourPop, and I like this palette, so I am really happy to re-dip my foot on it. And even though it was one of those forgotten palettes, it will be fun to work with it again. Okay, so this is the end of this really chitty chatty video, so I hope you had fun with it, and let me know down below which palette you hope that I finish sooner than the other one, because it's a lot and it's coming out more. But I will try my best to completely finish one palette before move to the other one, and in the next update I will try to don't procrastinate as much. Oh, I will have to pay the price as I paid this month. But okay, this is the end of the video. See you soon. Bye bye. Ciao.